Welcome to the Expensive Coins History channel, to another deep dive into the world of coins, history, and hidden treasures. In today's video, we're exploring a coin that, on the surface, might seem ordinary, but upon closer examination, reveals a story steeped in history, mystery, and growing collector value. We're talking about the 1978 Netherlands 25-cent coin featuring Queen Juliana. But not just any 25-cent coin, this particular variant is unique. It has no mint mark. And that single missing detail has turned it into one of the more talked about European collector coins in recent years. What exactly makes this coin so special? Why is the absence of a tiny mint mark significant? And how can something so small affect a coin's value in such a substantial way? And most importantly, how much is this coin worth in today's market, in the year 2025? Let's find out. So sit back, relax, and join me on a journey that spans history, royalty, production quirks, and the thrilling world of rare coin collecting. This is the complete story of the 1978 no-mint mark Queen Juliana 25-cent coin from the Netherlands. Let's begin with a bit of context. The Netherlands in the late 1970s was a country moving through a period of social change and modernization. It had rebuilt from the devastation of World War II, and Queen Juliana, who had reigned since 1948, was a steady and respected figurehead during this time. Her portrait was present on all Dutch coins issued during her reign, and over the decades, millions of coins featuring her image entered circulation, becoming part of the daily lives of Dutch citizens. By 1978, Queen Juliana was nearing the end of her reign. She would abdicate just 2 years later in favor of her daughter, Beatrix. But at the time, her presence on coins symbolized continuity, loyalty to tradition, and national pride. The 25-cent coin, affectionately known in the Netherlands as the kwartje, was a common denomination used by nearly everyone. It was used for buying snacks, taking trams, and making payphone calls, an essential part of everyday commerce. The coin in question was struck in 1978, and on most specimens, you'll find a small mint mark to indicate where it was produced, typically the Royal Dutch Mint. This mint mark, while subtle, served a vital role in quality assurance, tracking, and historical documentation. But then something strange happened. In the 1978 batch of 25-cent coins, a small subset was produced without any mint mark at all. No tiny symbol. No identifying mark. Just the date, 1978, and Queen Juliana's profile. This was not an intentional design change. It was, most likely, an error. A production oversight. A mechanical or human mistake. But the mint mark's absence went unnoticed by the general public at the time. After all, most people weren't scrutinizing their pocket change, but to coin collectors and numismatists, especially in later years, this lack of a mint mark stood out like a flashing light. Over time, as mint-marked versions were catalogued and studied, this variation began to gain recognition. Not many were found. And those that were, became coveted for their subtle but highly significant difference. What makes this kind of error so valuable is not just the fact that it's a mistake. It's the kind of mistake that gets released into public circulation without being caught. In a world where quality control is stringent, and minting procedures are tightly regulated, errors that make it into circulation become part of history, and in this case, the missing mint mark turned a common coin into something far more special. Something elusive. Something sought after. Now let's take a closer look at the coin itself. The 1978 Queen Juliana 25-cent coin has a relatively simple and elegant design, reflecting both Dutch minimalism and royal dignity. On the obverse, you'll find the right-facing profile of Queen Juliana. Her hair is styled in a classic manner, and the inscription around the edge reads, Juliana Koningin der Nederlanden, which translates to Juliana, Queen of the Netherlands. Her portrait is cleanly engraved, not overly ornate, but with enough detail to feel regal and timeless. On the reverse, you'll see the denomination, 25 cent, along with the date, 1978. Typically, the mint mark would appear near the date or close to the rim. But on these rare examples, that mint mark is missing entirely. The coin is struck in copper-nickel alloy, making it silver-colored and durable. It measures approximately 18.5 mm in diameter and is relatively lightweight, designed for regular, frequent use. Despite its modest size, this coin now holds an outsized place in the world of rare European numismatics. Now we arrive at the most exciting part: rarity and value. Rarity in the coin world can arise from low mintage numbers, production errors, regional limitations, or short-lived variants. In the case of the 1978 no-mint mark 25-cent coin, rarity comes from the fact that most 1978 coins do have a mint mark, and only a small percentage, possibly just a few thousand or less, escaped the minting process without that identifying symbol. Collectors of Dutch coins, European coinage, error coins, or Queen Juliana memorabilia all take interest in this piece. The crossover appeal adds to its desirability. You don't need to be from the Netherlands to find this coin fascinating. The coin also gained additional attention in online communities and collector forums where examples began appearing in auctions, sometimes unexpectedly. A coin that someone once found in a jar of old change began commanding surprising prices on collector websites and private sales. Over time, its legend grew, and so did its market value. The value of any collectible coin depends on several factors: rarity, demand, condition, and presentation. Coins are typically graded based on wear and visual quality, from circulated and worn examples to brilliant uncirculated and mint-state coins. In average circulated condition, where the coin has seen clear signs of use but retains all visible details, the 1978 no-mint mark Queen Juliana 25-cent coin may fetch anywhere from €5 to €15. That's a significant jump from its original face value, and much more than most regular 25-cent coins from the same year. If you happen to own one in extremely fine condition, with only light signs of circulation, you might be looking at a value of €20 to €30. These are usually found in private collections or kept in storage without being handled. But here's where it gets exciting. In uncirculated condition, meaning the coin shows no signs of wear at all, with clean surfaces and full original mint luster, the price can range from €40 to €75, depending on buyer interest. Some authenticated and certified examples have been known to surpass even that, especially if sold through reputable auction houses. Coin collectors are increasingly valuing niche variations like this, especially in a digital world where visibility increases demand. So even though it might not seem like a fortune, the growth in value over time makes it a wise hold or a prized find. If you're wondering whether you might have one of these coins in your own collection, the first thing to do is check the date. Look for 1978. Then look very closely around the date for any mint mark. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe if necessary. If you see nothing, no tiny symbol, you may be holding the rarer version. If you're looking to sell, your best options are online auction platforms, specialized European coin dealers, or coin shows. Be sure to take clear photos of both sides, especially the area where the mint mark would normally appear. Mention in your listing that this is a no mint mark variant, and describe the coin's condition as accurately as possible. If you're planning to buy, be careful and look for trusted sellers. It helps to get the coin professionally graded if you're paying a premium. Certification provides peace of mind and can boost resale value later. In the world of numismatics, not all treasures come from gold and silver. Sometimes, they come from overlooked change, from errors in production, or from small historical quirks that make a coin stand out decades later. The 1978 Netherlands 25-cent coin without a mint mark is one of those treasures. It reminds us that even in the most routine objects, history leaves its fingerprint. What started as a common coin turned into a rare find, one that collectors now search for across the globe. The 1979 Netherlands 25-cent coin, featuring Queen Juliana, but with an unusual twist that has caught the attention of collectors around the world. This particular version lacks a mint mark, which is an anomaly not just in terms of design, but in historical context, rarity, and collectible value. As we journey through this topic, we'll uncover the coin's origins, explore its connection to the final days of Queen Juliana's reign, explain the significance of the missing mint mark, break down its physical attributes and authentication process, and analyze its value in today's numismatic market as of 2025. If you're a seasoned collector, a curious historian, or someone who simply enjoys the thrill of discovering value in forgotten coins, this is an episode you won't want to miss. The 25-cent coin was part of the Netherlands' circulating currency for decades, and during the latter half of the 20th century, it prominently featured Queen Juliana, the monarch who served from 1948 until her abdication in 1980. Her reign was characterized by a steady hand during times of change, and the coinage bearing her image reflects both national pride and continuity. By the year 1979, the Dutch guilder system was in its final stages before the eventual transition to the euro in later decades. But in that year, no one could have predicted that a small detail would set certain coins apart for decades to come. That detail was the absence of a mint mark. Normally, coins issued by the Royal Dutch Mint carry a distinct mint mark, indicating the facility where they were struck. It's a subtle but important feature that collectors rely on for authentication and classification. However, a portion of the 1979 25-cent coins were released without any mint mark at all. This absence wasn't widely publicized, and for many years, it went unnoticed by the general public. But collectors, always vigilant for the slightest deviation, began to take notice. In the world of coin collecting, a mint mark does more than indicate a place of origin. It can signal changes in production, denote limited runs, or serve as a control marker for quality. The absence of a mint mark is never arbitrary. It usually points to a variation in the minting process, a production oversight, or a transitional anomaly. In the case of the 1979 Queen Juliana 25-cent coin, the missing mint mark is believed to represent a minor yet intentional or accidental deviation, and it has become a subject of intrigue for numismatists. What makes this coin especially fascinating is that it does not fall under the category of an obvious mint error. It is not misaligned. It is not double-struck. It does not feature off-metal production. Instead, it presents itself as a completely normal coin, until one realizes that something is missing. That missing element, that lack of a mint mark, transforms the coin from a standard issue into a potential rarity. Collectors prize these subtle differences. They are clues to the production narrative of a coin, a story of what happened at the mint, what may have changed in the die process, or what could have occurred during a transitional minting phase. And the 1979 no mint mark 25-cent coin is precisely that, a transitional curiosity near the end of Queen Juliana's reign. Let's now take a closer look at the physical aspects of the coin itself. The 1979 Netherlands 25-cent coin is made from a nickel alloy. It has a diameter of approximately 17 mm and a weight of about 3.5 grams. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Queen Juliana facing right, with the inscription around the edge stating Juliana Koningin der Nederlanden, which translates to Juliana, Queen of the Netherlands. On the reverse, you will find the denomination, 25C, centered with the year, 1979, positioned just beneath it. Normally, the mint mark would appear near the date or along the rim, depending on the positioning tradition of that year. However, in this variant, that area is completely blank. There is no symbol, nota, no insignia, just smooth surface. To identify whether your coin is the no mint mark version, you will need to examine it under good lighting or even with a magnifier. The area near the date is where the mint mark is expected. If the field is entirely blank and does not show any signs of being worn or rubbed out, then you may have an authentic no mint mark variety. It's also important to compare your coin to others from the same year with a mint mark to see the difference clearly. The absence must be complete, not just faint or partially struck. In such cases, it is advisable to have the coin professionally authenticated, especially if you plan to sell or insure it, while this version of the 1979 25-cent coin is not the rarest in Dutch coinage history, it is certainly uncommon enough to generate demand among collectors. It is estimated that a relatively small number of these coins were produced or released into circulation, and even fewer remain in excellent condition today. Coins from the late 1970s were heavily circulated. Many were used in everyday transactions, passed from hand to hand, exposed to wear, tarnish, and loss. The survival rate of well-preserved examples is therefore limited. And among those that remain, only a fraction are the no-mint mark variety. That makes this coin a fascinating pursuit for those assembling a complete Dutch coin collection or those focused on mint mark varieties. Collectors who specialize in error coins or mint anomalies often pay a premium for coins like this because they represent a moment of divergence from the norm. This is especially compelling when the anomaly is subtle, such as a missing symbol, rather than dramatic or obvious. Subtlety invites scrutiny, and scrutiny fuels interest. Market values for coins are influenced by several key factors: rarity, demand, condition, and historical significance. In this case, all four contribute to the coin's appeal. While the coin is not made of precious metal and does not carry high intrinsic bullion value, its numismatic worth is derived entirely from its unusual feature and collector interest. For a standard circulated example of the no-mint mark 1979 coin, prices typically range between 20 and 50 euros, depending on the level of wear. Coins in better than average condition, those with minimal scratches, clear details, and only light circulation marks, can command between 50 and 80 euros. Uncirculated examples or coins that have been professionally graded at high levels can reach values between 100 and 150 euros, with exceptionally pristine pieces possibly climbing even higher, especially if sold in private auctions or niche collector circles. If you happen to discover one of these coins in change in an old drawer or within a family collection, and it remains in excellent condition, you may be holding onto a surprisingly valuable piece of history. And if it's already been verified and encapsulated by a grading service, that only strengthens its market potential. In summary, the 1979 no-mint mark Queen Juliana 25-cent coin is a remarkable artifact from the twilight of a monarch's reign. It's a coin that whispers its uniqueness rather than shouting it. It offers a quiet kind of rarity, one that invites attention, study, and admiration. It's the kind of coin that builds stories around it, not just for what it is, but for what it lacks. For collectors, these are the moments that make the hobby so rewarding. The thrill of spotting a difference. The research behind a mystery. The validation of finding something not everyone has. This coin may be small, but it represents a vast intersection of history, craftsmanship, and mystery. So the next time you come across a stack of old coins, look a little closer. One of them might be a hidden treasure like the 1979 no-mint mark 25-cent coin. And if you find one, take care of it, research it, and above all, appreciate the legacy it carries. If you enjoyed this in-depth journey into the world of Dutch coinage and want to explore more hidden treasures like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Hit the like button if you learned something new, and drop a comment below if